Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking today at a book from Tolley's LexisNexis. It's this book here. It's a light book. It's not that heavy. 620 pages, something like that. Tolley's Stamp Taxes, 2010 to 11, written and edited by Patrick Cannon. The book itself is standard work. Those are the cases that you've got there. There are a lot of very detailed appendices, which you can see listed there, which are about 2/3 the way through the book. And what you've got in addition to that are the very helpful numbers at the side for reference purposes, so you can find the information very quickly. At the back there's a detailed index, and as I say, the actual appendices are extremely important, with tax bulletins and various other information. Some comments on the back of the book. As I say, I think it's a very important book in this area of law, and it's an area which is important. Let me explain a little bit more about this. The review that we've written is on the web and also in some of the journals, and we've given it the title "For Practitioners and Financial Advisors, a Practical Guide to Stamp Duties and Duty Reserved Tax," and that's exactly what this book is. For example, anybody who's bought a house or land in the UK will claim to have acquired at least a passing acquaintance with stamp duty. And of course you'll recall that it's been a political issue, with an attempt at one stage by the Conservative Party to suggest it might scrap the tax altogether. No such luck. Therefore, if you're a practitioner advising clients, you need a deep and detailed understanding of stamp taxes in all their ramifications, permutations and complexities, which is exactly what a thorough study of this helpful and authoritative Tolley guide can do for you. The author is Patrick Cannon, originally a solicitor who's now practicing at the bar, and he's a specialist in the field, and he concedes that in addition to complex legislation, practitioners have also had to contend with a compliance system of enormous complexity and detail, coupled with shortcomings in its administration. How right he is. And it's another very sad example of this business of huge amount of compliance, regulation, and all these things that we've come to dread in the last 20 years. So having this guide to hand, however, means you can, undaunted more or less, we hope, access all the pertinent and up-to-date information you need to plough your way through in order to see the intricate furrows that have been created of this admittedly complex subject. And we hope that this book will help you. I've certainly found it helpful. I've also found it an area that I didn't know much about, so it's very useful to look at this in much more detail. Part 1 of the book provides a topic-by-topic guide to SDLT, that's the Stamp Duty Land Tax, with the chapters arranged in order of subject matter as appropriate for a tax. There are no less than 88 chapters in Part 2, which covers stamp duties and stamp duty reserved tax, and you can see here the actual list of the actual 88 chapters in some detail. Obviously it covers things like adjudication to VAT, stamp duty and so forth. Part 3 features 9 appendices, which I've indicated, about 2/3 of the way through the book, starting there with parliamentary material. And also, as I say, it's a very practical and handy way to look at the information. What is actually even handier is a list of stamp office contact details, which you'll find buried in there somewhere. As you'd expect, therefore, the extensive cross-referencing text provides frequent information on recent cases. It also covers company law and taxation legislation and so forth, and there's a useful list of abbreviations and references at the front. This most recent edition is up to date as at the 1st of August 2010, and therefore it includes the relevant provisions of last year's Finance Act 2010 and the Finance Number 2 2010 provisions, plus a wealth of additional new material. Obviously we've had a change of government, and there'll be a lot of settling down as the new coalition looks at the way they're going to deal with the finances. Do note that Tolley's is now introducing an online access system, which I mentioned here, giving sort of examples and template documents and so forth. It gives also things such as best practice, guidance notes, and a whole range of other things, which is a useful new addition. So be you a practitioner or financial advisor, this definitive guide, in our view, will help you lend added weight and authority to the advice on stamp taxes which you give your clients or associates. I'd like to thank Patrick Cannon and also Tolley and the team very much for producing this excellent book. Thank you. Bye bye.